I'm Abha. Directions: read the following short passages and answer the question that follows each passage. The question: the argument above depends primarily on which of the following assumptions? Now, to find out the assumption, let's look at the conclusion of the paragraph, which is given in the last statement. One goal of union reform movement should be to build staffs out of workers who have come up from the ranks of the industry involved. Now, the author here believes that the hiring up from the rank workers will cure the problem. So, he must be assuming that these former workers do understand workers' real concern, and this is what is given in option number 3. So, option 3 comes to be the answer. If we look at option number 1, higher education lessens people's identification with their class background. The author has already stated in the first few lines that college-trained lawyers and economists and labor relation experts cannot understand the concerns of real workers. So, option 1 gets eliminated. Option 2, union staff should include more people with first-hand industrial supervisory experience. Talking of supervisory experience, that isn't the same as the author has stated in the conclusion. So, option 2 also is eliminated, is incorrect. Option 4, most labor unions today do not fairly represent workers' interests. Now, this is too extreme in a statement to be given. So, option 4 is incorrect. Option 5, a goal of union reform movement should be to make unions more democratic. Now, the word democratic used here is a new term, and it's not required for the argument that we need. So, option 5 gets eliminated. Answer is option number 3. Thank you. Karke dikhayenge. Hello, I'm Abha. Directions: read the following short passages and answer the questions that follows each passage. The question here is, which of the following is the author of the argument above, most reasonably intending the reader to conclude? Now, the author here draws an analogy between the two plants and says, since they opened a plant in country Y in the middle of revolution and it generated substantial profits ever since, the same implies with country X as well, which is a war-torn country, but then setting up a plant here would be profitable as well. The same is given in option number 4. The proposed plant in country X will generate profits despite the war. So, answer is option number 4. Now, if you look at the first option here says wars are profitable for the author's particular business. The author's point is that the plant can be successful despite the war, not the plant will be successful because of the war, right? So, option number 1 does not give the same meaning. Option number 2, country X is more politically stable nation than country Y. Now, here the author presents the two countries as similar and is not arguing that one is more stable than the other or not. So, country X being more stable than Y is out of question. So, option number 2 also can be deleted, can be eliminated. Option number 3, critics of the proposed plant in country X are likely to be biased. Now, here again the author is trying to attack the opponent's argument, but not their motives. The motives is not being attacked by the author. So, option number 3 is also eliminated. Option 5, if we see, the proposed plant in country X will be more successful than the plant in country Y. Now, here it's almost like making a judgment as to which plant will be more successful than the other one. So, option number 5 also goes. This option number 4 is the most appropriate option and is the answer. Thank you. Karke dikha. Hello, I'm Abha. Directions: read the following short passages and answer the question that follows each passage. Question: Which of the following can most reasonably be inferred from the statements above? Now, if you look at the passage, in the very first line, it starts with a correlation and then it breaks in the next sentence. Now, it's very difficult to draw any proper inference from the given paragraph, but what we can safely conclude is that airfare doesn't by itself determine the number of passenger miles flown. So, there can be other factors contributing airfares. It's not only one factor itself, and this is given in option number 3, that is, factors other than low airfares must be contributing to the rise in the number of passenger miles flown, not itself the airfares. Okay. Now, option number 1, the cost of air travel does not affect the number of passenger miles flown. This is too strong an statement to be given. So, option number 1 can be deleted. Option number 2, people are now flying to destinations that they formerly reached by train or by other modes of transportation. Now, if we can't infer why passenger miles flown have increased, it might be at the expense of other forms of transportation, but one cannot be very sure that it is due to the other modes of transportation. So, option number 2 also goes. Option number 4, takeovers in the deregulated air travel industry have been responsible for the rise in airfares. Now, the author merely states that the airfares have risen recently, but he has not mentioned anywhere the cause or the takeovers as such. So, option number 4 can also be eliminated. Option number 5, airfares can climb even higher without causing a drop in the number of passenger miles flown. So far, the recent rise in airfare hasn't reduced passenger miles flown, which is given in the last line of the passage, but that does not mean that the further increase would not drop the number in the number of passenger miles flown. We cannot be very sure about it. So, option number 5 also goes. This leaves us with option number 3 as the answer. Option 3. Thank you. करके दिखाएंगे.